welcome everyone. My name is Ty McCrossan. I am a Senior Solution Director here over here at Inspirage. Welcome to our Unscripted video series, and today we'll be speaking with Jim Mooney. He is over at Oracle. Jim, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, thanks, Ty. Yes, I'm Jim Mooney. I'm in Oracle development. I run the logistics products here for our applications team, and I've been with Oracle since 2005 when they acquired Glog, which is the kind of heart of the product we're going to talk about today.
Right. Yeah, thanks, Jim. So, Jim, thanks for taking the time. So we wanted to reach out and have a chat with you. We have the user conference coming up, SIG, Special Interest Group. It's been canceled for the last 2 years due to the pandemic, so we're excited that it is happening August 1st, downtown Philly. So I know you spoke at the SIG in March in Europe. And so, again, we're excited that we have the conference coming up in Philly. So I wanted to just have a little Q&A on what's coming, maybe a little discussion on what you'll be speaking about at the conference, if that's okay.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so just digging in, OTM and GTM, the cloud updates for FY23 are really FY22 and 23. What are some of the highlights that you'll be sharing at the conference?
We're going to continue to deliver our cloud updates like we do every quarter. We deliver them, we don't do the last quarter, but deliver them 3 times a year. And this year, as we go into it, we've already delivered 22A and we're going to 22B.
Right.
It's already started, and we're going to just continue that all the way through. Now, next year, we hopefully have some. I've been talking about Generation 2. We hopefully have some Generation 2 possibilities of migrating people, but we don't see that disrupting us. We found a way to kind of keep updating people and get them to Gen 2 as well. So should be a normal updates, just lots of functionality. The big things coming in B and C to look out for are the enhanced workbench that everybody's been waiting for to see that piece, and our mobile app as in 22C will be the new version of mobile app. So a couple of big exciting things, but it's a whole bunch of functionality as well.
So that would be the functional. I think I did read that the workbenches is the highlight both in 22 and 22B and 22C. For technical performance metrics, is that a focus as well?
So yeah, that's actually something. So we're going to do an internal training for company and for partners coming up in June. And it's one of the things I'm going to emphasize to our partners is really to learn that piece, to learn the performance metrics, because we've already delivered it in 22A, and we're going to continue to enhance it. And it's really, what's interesting about that piece is it now gives customers and partners the ability to see how their configuration is running and how it's performing over time. So it's not, so we as the people running the cloud, we check all of the back end, all of the database, the application server. We scan your logs for errors. We do all kinds of great stuff to keep the cloud running smoothly. But we can't go in and look at the customer configuration for security reasons. We can't look at their data and so on. So this gives our customers and our partners a chance to set up their own kind of monitoring and performance of their configuration of how their agents are running and how their queries are running and how their bulk plans are running, and alert them if things go wrong. It's a very cool feature, and one that I hope our SI partners will start to adopt and incorporate into their implementation.
All right. Well, I'll take that back to Inspirage. let them know.
I'd take the chance while I had you on.
I'll
make a plug there.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. I'll share this link with the team. So I know we still have our friends that are still on premise. We have a few of those. Any thoughts, highlights on what's coming for on-prem regarding, support, updates, anything, again, at a high level?
Well, we did release 651 as we planned to late last year. And we're going to, as planned, we're going to release 652 this year. And 653 the following. We don't have any plans after that for releases. We will just have to see how adoption rates and so on is whether we continue to release on-prem. But we'll continue to support it. But we do have 652, as I'm sure the customers on-prem have seen, we're not nearly delivering the functionality in on-prem as the cloud. It's just that the technology's not there. We're building so many things in the cloud on top of Oracle Cloud features that just aren't available on-prem. So we can't deliver that kind of functionality to the on-prem world. But we are the key pieces that customers have asked for that we're able to do that aren't destabilizing. We've done some of those enhancements and delivered them, and we'll do that. And we do see a lot of customers from on-prem moving to the cloud. There's been dozens and dozens of them that have moved in the past couple of years, and I expect a lot more to move as they kind of their hardware starts to age and so on with the on-prem.
Yeah, and as you're aware, I was formerly Oracle sales rep, so I work with a lot of those customers moving to the cloud. So, I mean, again, today you have a few that are still on-prem. When they come to you, what is your suggestion to them? Like, why cloud, or who to partner with? What would be their journey if they did want to move to the cloud?
Yeah, so I know it's tempting for customers to want to take exactly what they had on-prem and put it up in the cloud. Kind of the lift and shift model. Mm-hmm. Saying, hey, I'm running okay today, so let me just take that and put it in the cloud. But there's a couple of problems with that approach. One is the cloud has changed a lot from the on-prem world. There's so many new features, so many new capabilities that they're missing out on a lot of that if they don't take the time to kind of take advantage of some of those. And they've also a lot of customers have done customizations, and a lot of their configuration is dependent on those customizations. So it's hard to kind of lift and shift anyway, because you can't take those like database customizations that you've done and move them into the cloud. So I do recommend that people, they move all their data. You can move all your locations, all your rates. You don't have to repeat that. That saves a ton of time over, starting fresh. Right. But just really evaluate the configuration, and of course use a qualified, a certified partner to do that, and not just the company that's certified, but someone that the people on your project have done a move to the cloud. That's what I ask them to look for when they're talking to partners or selecting one. Pick one that's done a move, that's moved a couple of clients already to the cloud, and knows what they what kind of things they should look out for, what kind of hurdles they might, have to jump to go make it happen. Especially with the moving from the some of the customizations to trying to be a more standard product, because in the long run, it's gonna help them have a much more maintainable system to run. It'll be a lot easier to run moving forward if they can be more standard. I mean, a partner is going to leave you in good shape, like leave you in a position to kind of where you can maintain yourself or make it easy to maintain, whether that partner offers run and maintain services, or just something where you can, they'll leave you in a good state where you can know. And that's kind of what I'm pointing at with these performance metrics, that if you could set up performance metrics that customers themselves could be notified that, when things go awry, so that they know how their that their configuration is still running okay or not running okay.
As a follow-up, and then we'll move on. When they do take the journey, is your team available to support? Is that something you guys would help with if needed, yourself or Srini or Dan or Carl?
Yeah, I mean, we've been involved in a lot of them, and in a lot of the moves to the cloud, and at least start with at a high level, with the making the decisions about what features can I use, like what we can provide. I think our partners can provide enough information about, to be able to look at their configuration, see how they were implemented, and they can know, what they can do in the cloud, how to implement them in the cloud. What we can provide is, what are some of the new things that you can take advantage of? What are some of the things that we know are in the cloud based on your implementation, after, say your partner has done some evaluation. Mm-hmm. And we generally have those sessions where we can provide some feedback on, hey, you really shouldn't do this that way. You really should take advantage of our new feature for the way we do spot tenders, or some of those new things that we've developed in the cloud.
Over here we're in the middle of a few of those, and Inspirage would do the heavy lifting, but it's good to know that we can reach out, and get your guidance here and there. So I appreciate mm-hmm. that. So the other thing I was looking at from your presentation, like what's coming on the cloud status, is the whole Gen 2, and you even mentioned that Gen 2 migration mm-hmm. or Gen 2 availability. Anything there that we can touch on?
But Gen 2 is, as I said, in Europe, we're not really, the Gen 2 migration is really hardware dependent, because, and hardware is at a premium right now because of the pandemic and the shortages and all of that. So while we have customers running successfully in our Gen 1 cloud, we're going to keep them there until we're really sure we have a solid base of good hardware to move them to in Gen 2. Gotcha. So that's probably, it's probably sometime later next year. Okay. If it happens earlier than that, that'd be great. If it happens later, I wouldn't be surprised, because I've been saying it's going to happen every year for the past couple of years now. and a couple of things have gotten in our way to prevent that. Right. But the good news on that is that it's given us more time to test this Gen 2 migration, because the migration, we're not just going to take people down for a day and move their database over. We have this process where we replicate their database for a couple of weeks, replicate every transaction that goes in. And we've been able to test that process so that we can minimize the amount of downtime it takes when we move them to Gen 1 to Gen 2. And we've gotten that downtime down pretty far. And we've also tested that process now a few times. And we have about, with live customers, we've tested it 3 or 4 times already. And now we're going to do about 3 or 4 more before the end of the year. So that I think by the time we really hit the higher number of customers, it'll be a pretty solid, well-tested process. Okay. So I think the good news on the delay is just that I think it's going to help the process move it along.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for sharing on that. So getting outside of OTM, we see a lot of third-party tools out there, right? The visibility tools, there's Parcel, there's the load boards. Any trends there that you see? Any vision there? It just seems to be a hot space right now, the whole visibility play. Yeah. No,
I think visibility continues to be hot. It's been hot for several years now, and I think the fact that there's been a lot of delays has not helped that fact. It's continued, a lot of delays in shipping and so on, delays at the ports, and people want to know where things are. So I think the visibility piece has not cooled off. It's still very hot, and we continue. The great thing about Oracle is not just with our SI partners that we embrace our SI partners. We also embrace our solution partners that come to us with solutions and want to integrate. Oracle is a very open architecture, and we've always been open to third-party products feeding us data and us feeding data to third-party products. And that continues with the visibility vendors, with our rating vendors, our external rating engines that we have partners that provide that. What I think is really, I'd say, exploded is kind of the load boards, the digital freight brokers. And that's all because of the scarcity of capacity, right? So everyone's struggling to get their contracted carriers to move the freight for them. So they're going out to other sources. So the combination of the digital freight brokers, the load boards, and also another thing inside the product is we've seen a lot of requests, a lot of enhancement requests for spot tender, because spot is also another way that people are going out to the spot market to fulfill their capacity needs where they didn't as much before. Most of their needs were met by their contracted carriers. So seeing those kind of trends, and it's all, as you would expect, all driven by kind of the capacity shortage and pandemic. So
gotcha. All right. Well, thanks for sharing. So I'll lighten it up for you. Have you picked out your theme yet for your keynote for SIG? I know we're 2.5 months out. Is there anything you want to share with us, or is that a top secret at this time?
Ty, you know how I work. I mean, that's usually night before.
Well, speaking of SIG, just to put a plug in for us, we're doing the same thing, right? We're preparing. We'll have a booth. Inspirage is a platinum sponsor. We're going to be back at the Continental for our party on Monday night, August 1st. Jim, you're invited. All right, Jim. Hey, thanks for your time, Jim. I appreciate you jumping on and sharing your thoughts. And we look forward to seeing you and your team in downtown Philly, August 1st. So thanks again.
Yeah, no, thanks, Ty. It's been good catching up, and we're really looking forward to the SIG. It's been too long, and I think from what I'm hearing, I've been speaking to a few customers. It seems like it's going to be a good response. It could be well attended. So I'm looking forward to it. Perfect.
It would be great to see everyone. All right, Jim. Thanks for your time. Have a great day.
Okay. Take care.